Hello everyone, my name is Roya, and these are the books that I read during Booknerdathon. Booknerdathon took place last week, or this past week rather, from Monday to Friday. So yeah, these are the books that I read. So on day one, first I read the last 100 pages of Arrowfire, which was not for any of the challenges or anything like that. I just, was almost done with it, thought I should finish it. And honestly, I really did not like this book as much as the first two. And obviously I really expected it to be better than the first one, especially because the first one is really just the book that sets up the world for you and everything. But I was a little bit disappointed in this one. It was still good and everything, but I guess I'll just explain more in my wrap-up later. Also, on day one, I finished the last 100 pages of Fight Club, which is, of course, half the book, because this is like a 200-page book. This is also a really good book. I will have a review video up for it very soon. The next book I finished during Booknerdathon was Ready Player One. I started this on day one, I finished it on day three, and it is really, really good. Definitely one of my favorites of the whole year. I will also have a review of this up very soon, hopefully, if I don't slack off anyway. Next, I read Siege and Storm. This is the second book in the Grisha trilogy by Leigh Bardugo. Actually, I think it's pronounced the Grisha trilogy. I don't know. I was also very disappointed in this one. I liked the first one. I thought it was really good and everything, but this one had really no action at all, and any action that it had took place at the very beginning and the very end. So I felt like the whole thing was sort of just like 300 pages of Alina being really confused and just people talking and not really anything happening. And then like 50 pages at the beginning of like actual plot and 50 pages at the end of actual plot. Something like that. So I felt like this book could have been like half the length that it was. So I don't know. I was a little bit disappointed. So I finished this on day 5. I was going to start the third book in this series after I finished this one because these are really, really quick reads for me, I feel like. But after reading this one, I really didn't want to just go straight on to the third one. I don't even know if I'm going to read the third one at this point. So instead, I decided to read Fall of Hyperion by Dan Simmons, which of course is the sequel to Hyperion by Dan Simmons. And I was like on page 50 of this book, and so at the end of day 5 I read another 100 pages or so. I got to page 150. I am now on page 250 and halfway through this book, and it is really, really good. I still think the first one was better, because the first one was amazing, but so far this one doesn't quite live up to the first one, but it's still really, really awesome. I'll obviously explain more about it later. I'm actually considering doing an entire series review of this, because I haven't done a series review in a while, and I definitely plan on reading the next 2 books and everything. So let's take a look at the challenges that I completed during this readathon. So for Ready Player One, I started a series. I read a book that is set in a school, a book about a video game, a sci-fi book. Gosh, there was another challenge that I knocked off with this one too, but I completely forgot what it was. And with this one, I completed the challenge of read a book that was made into a movie. So these are the books that I read during Booknerdathon. Some of them I didn't read the entire thing during Booknerdathon or anything, but so it's not like it's that impressive. But I did read over 1,000 pages during Booknerdathon, which is great. So anyway, if you participated in Booknerdathon, let me know what you read down below, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye!